Okay, I'm gonna put a red filter on. I'm not gonna do too much. I don't know if if I'm gonna be able to upload onto my channel. The Michael Oziak channel I might be locked out of too. So I'm gonna, before I say too much, just gonna mention though, real quick about this stupid fucking balloon shit. You know, it's so stupid, man. I mean, they lie about everything. You know. Um, every channel, every fucking channel. I mean, conservatives are all over this fucking balloon. Fox News is, if the first 10 videos that you pull up, every one of their talents is all talking about the stupid balloon and falsely talking about it in every direction. I mean, don't they see themselves for what they are, these fucking people? It's unbelievable, man. They don't see themselves, I guess. I don't know. But how the hell can you tell everybody on one hand that, you know, your toasters are watching you, that, you know, they're all made in China, your refrigerator, your microwave, your vehicle. I can tell you from experience that everything's being tracked. Our vehicles are being tracked, our phones are being tracked. This is not a United States Google thing only. They're all involved. Listen, Putin, the U.S. presidents, the black state, whatever you want to call them, the dark state, everybody, China is just as involved as Israel and Iran and everybody else. It's the top, it's the very top that are controlling these puppets. How nobody can see this, I don't fucking know at this point. I don't know. But like I was saying in the video I made the other day, you know, you can go back to our grandparents' time and you can even go back to our grandparents' time and see that they were just as intelligent as we were. They were so fucking smart. Um, they're too smart for their own good, I guess is the thing. I mean, the shit that they bought, you know. So all the bullshit that we're buying about this balloon nonsense, I mean, it's so stupid. You've got undercover agents from China that are all over the United States anyway. Then you have treasonous scum who are out there who also, you know, work for the United States but would be happy to sell secrets or whatever to the Chinese or any other fucking country who's got the money. We know who these people are. They're on the news all the time. They throw top secret documents out, supposedly, and put them out for China. So, I mean, why would they need to send the balloon to check on shit, right? Why would you need to send the fucking balloon to check on everybody if you already have everybody in place? And we work together with them as a country. Our country does. The human population, just zombies in every country. It doesn't matter. Um, I mentioned too, I was talking about the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, that kind of thing. Our parents and our grandparents. I'm 50. So our parents and our grandparents, you know, we think about those times there, you know, were they just as intelligent as we are? How did they, things were more real back then? No, they weren't. They were just as fucking smart as us, I'm telling you. But what I forgot to point out is when I was saying that the other day was I forgot to point out was the numbers. The numbers have changed quite drastically, and I was just telling my kids on the way to school about it. Um, okay, so you go back to 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. The population back then on Earth was, it's just like a roundabout, but it was something like 2.5 billion to 4 billion people during that time. 2.5 billion to 4 billion people from the 20s into the 50s, right? Now, today, we supposedly have 9 billion people on the earth. It goes back and forth, too. Even today's numbers, some people say 7, 8, 9, somewhere around there, for human beings on the earth. All right, so you're talking about millions of years that they tell us that we are. So we were banging rocks and twiddling our fucking thumbs for tens of thousands of years even. Forget about millions, just even tens of thousands of years we were supposedly twiddling our thumbs. Somehow all these fucking 50-ton to 350-ton stones somehow magically were cut to precision cuts, moved around the earth, moved for hundreds of miles around, put into place, set down into holes miles deep, all this kind of shit, supposedly, just right from banging some rocks around. Pretty fucking good, pretty amazing. I mean, the amount of intelligence that the human population shows that they have is unbelievable, you know. And then we go to school and we learn this shit and we say, yeah, it's a fact, you know. The teacher told it to me, you know. Same shit they're doing with the outer space nonsense, you know. Get you to believe in outer space, just like back then they got you to believe in gods, you know, rather than showing you the true creator that you can see it all for yourselves, you know. No, we're not going to do that. Hold on, this thing's fucking spinning on me. Yeah, very fucked up. So I'm going back and I'm looking at my videos, what I'm showing you now in here and stuff like that. I did a couple of remasters. I had to go over to the Michael Oziak channel to do them. I'm shut down on the Miguel Everyone channel. I think they're trying to push me over to Rumble, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fuck with them, I think, because they're trying to push anybody with anything important to say over to Rumble. YouTube is only they only want YouTube to be used for la-di-da stuff, you know, how to fix your car, how to change a tire, how to uh, DIY stuff, you know, do it yourself kind of shit. And they want YouTube to just only be used for that. And then they want Twitter to be used for politics, and then all other conspiracy nonsense that they consider that they want more control over, they're sending over to Rumble. And we can see it happening right in front of our eyes. I can see it how it's all working out, and they're putting all their YouTube plants, including this guy Morris, you know, this guy Clayton Morris and stuff. Because Clayton, I like Clayton Morris, but he, you know, here he is again yesterday. He starts out his show. If you go watch his channel, starts off his show for about 15 minutes of it is about nuclear holocaust, right? Nuclear holocaust, wars all over the fucking earth, all this shit, serious shit. And he is right about a lot of the stuff he's talking about. He is correct about it. But then halfway through, he switches over, and this is why it's so important that you get gold and you go with my gold companies that I'm going to recommend to you, because gold is going to be the answer to it all and all this shit, right? Then you got another 15 minutes of that, and that makes a half-hour show, you know? And then you could say, oh, well, you know, the guy's got to survive, you know, he's got to, these people have to survive. You can't do it without money. Money, fuck the money. I'm telling you, man, it's fuck the money, you know. We all have to support each other financially, is the way we got to do this. You can't keep working for these companies, you know, and selling their products, no matter what it is, whether it's gold or whatever the fuck it is. Seeing if that's my guy. Let's see. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it might be my guy coming around, so I might run with the camera. Um, Hold on a minute. Anyways, I'm watching for him. So anyways, with Clayton Morris and these guys, the other guy is George Holloway, something like that. I think it's George Holloway or something like that. I just got turned on to him the other day too, and I remember him from years ago too. I always did like him. He's a nice guy too, and he knows his shit too. Um, it might have been his video that got me the copyright strike the other day. And that's another funny thing, not a copyright strike, a breaking the rules thing, because he came out and was talking about something that was not allowed yet. You know, like if it had, you could talk about COVID up to a certain point, and then it's not like when we were under other conditions where even if you said the word COVID-19, you were banned, you know, so you were fucking shut down. It's fucked up, man. The whole thing is fucked up. Oh, so that's what I was saying. So they're trying to push people over to Rumble. I noticed freedom of speech and all this kind of shit. So if they push you over to Rumble, where there's only a fraction of what there is for people that are watching on YouTube, someone like myself who only has 10 or 12 subscribers or something like that, I maybe have 20 to 25 people that are even watching my channel. And as I always point out, a lot of them are agents. There's a lot of agents that are on there, and each agent runs a bunch of bots. So on the Michael Oziak channel, you have um, what is it, 122 subscribers when I went back over there. So 100 out of 122 subscribers, if only 20 of them are real people, and then those 20 of those real people don't really get what I'm saying. They're hearing it, but they don't want to go look. They're too afraid, because it is natural to be afraid to look. I've never met anybody that's willing to just go look. They're all fucking shit their pants, and they don't even admit that they're afraid. They just say no, it's not happening, and then they fucking go right back to the bullshit stories. The only thing that will even be tempting for people to even look at what it is I'm showing you is if is when things become more and more obviously bad, and then they'll say, oh, okay, now I'm willing to look at other things. Okay, now it's pretty obvious to me that all governments, they're all fucked up and they're all bullshit, right? Then they'll also look and say, okay, well, the 7.8 billion zombies that I stand with, they're all so fucking intelligent that they're not even willing to look at reality. They'd rather die. They'd rather die, and they'd rather watch their children die and their grandchildren not even exist, and they're fine with that. That's why we feed our children the fucking poison foods. That's why we let them breathe this air that we're watching being pumped out of these fucking jets, and we have no problem with it. We will refuse to even look at it, let alone to acknowledge it, what it actually is. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. And then you have to stay calm about it all, because you can't get pissed off about it, because then you just come off as a fucking insane person, and then that doesn't work out good for anybody either. So the whole thing's a fuck show. Let's see, I come over here. Yeah. Trying to see where I'm gonna aim this bitch. Let's see here. So right there, I guess. Kind of coming this way. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems fucking so hopeless. It really does, man. I don't know. Um, more on the balloon. Did I take my cigarettes? I did. More on the balloon though. When you think about this fucking balloon nonsense too, it's a bunch of bullshit. The whole thing is fucking stupid. It's a fucking weather balloon. They would not use something like that to spy on anybody. They don't have to. There's so many other ways that are small. Like I was telling you, when I'm being followed and tracked by these local guys, there's three different agencies. Uh, actually, five, six different agencies when they pull in local and state. And and they did. They pulled them in on me a while back, just over the last couple months. And they have drones that are so fucking small, so tiny, and so fast. I mean, so you think about it. If you got somebody on the ground anywhere in the United States and they have this kind of equipment, whatever country you're from, then you can have all the spying ability you want. And these things are hard to spot, man. They're so small. So if you, like the guy that was watching me, he was parking his car about 3/4 of a mile away. I showed people the parking pad that he would park on, and he's putting the drones up in the air that way, and he runs them over here, and he can run them and watch me doing just what I'm doing right now, whatever the hell it is I'm doing, and he can keep an eye on me that way. And if it's nighttime, it's even easier for him. They do have tiny little lights, and I have to imagine there's some serious, huge risk in and finding them. They probably have a self-destruction fucking button or some kind of shit in case you lost one. You wouldn't want anybody to find it. It's so small that I don't think you'd ever be able to net it or anything like that. So in other words, the technology, it would be useless to put up this huge fucking weather balloon so high, so far away with the cameras. And then you got your other bullshit stories of satellites, which is a total fucking joke. There's no such thing as satellites in outer space. What they do is they're using the technology that I'm trying to show all of you. They use it to run these so-called satellites, cameras, whatever, up there. But even they cannot see all the way to the ground like they're showing you. That doesn't happen that way. They have to come back down again to do that. You could say, uh, in order to look right in your window, that kind of thing, that kind of stuff, right? So the strongest fucking telescopes, you'd have to have, look how big the fucking telescopes are, right? So you'd have to have one of these type of telescopes that are huge, the size of a house. You'd have to have these up in space floating around, a huge telescope like that in order to see down to the ground, to be able to look at me in my car, for example, or whatever, to see small things, or to count how many weapons are on the ground, or that kind of thing. It's not going to happen from what they tell you is outer space. It's fucking silly. All right, and then another funny thing about that whole scenario is that okay, you got your outer space bullshit stories again, which are always, they're always very strange to watch. Do this. It's always very funny to watch them because okay, so you have a weather balloon going up in China. Okay, so this weather balloon goes straight up in the air. So while it's up there, just staying stationary, not moving, because remember, wind's going to be trying to push it, and other things are going to try to push. So they want it to stay stationary. I'm just using a hypothetical. If you're, Chinese weatherman, right, and you're putting up this Chinese weather balloon, right, and you want this thing to stay stationary so you can get some readings and everything, and then you're going to bring it back down. But if you think about it, okay, according to your heliocentric model, which is only convenient to think about and remember when it's convenient to think about and remember, like when you're in school, like when you got your kids in school and you want them to believe your fucking nonsense. So you tell them that the earth is round, this big ball, you tell them, and then you tell them that it's spinning at 1100 miles an hour. But then when things like this balloon incident occur, nobody questions it. Nobody asks about it. Nobody at school, my kids are not going to go to school and ask about it because they'll probably get fucking thrown out of school if they do. That's the way the setup is. And if they were to say, well, teacher, if they sent up the weather balloon, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe they didn't think about the fact that by tomorrow morning, their weather balloon that was trying to stay stationary is going to be on the other side of the Earth, according to your heliocentric model. Because if we're turning and they're on the other side of the ball, according to you, then that means that their weather balloon, if this whole Earth is spinning at 1100 mile an hour bullshit story is actually true, teacher, then then why would that be so unusual to see a Chinese weather balloon over the United States? And then by tomorrow morning, it'd be back in China's airspace again, right? Because the Earth is turning at 1100 miles an hour according to your fucking lies. So, bunch of fucking liars, man. They're so bad. They really are. And then we're so bad because we just pretend to believe it. We pretend to believe fucking bullshit that on one hand we say is totally impossible, but then on the other hand, oh, that's the way it is. It's fucking crazy. I'm trying to see what I'm going to go in on here. There's a bunch of them coming up this way, so let's just stay over here, I guess. Yeah. Fucking ridiculous, man. minutes. Can't see it. 38 minutes. So there was the guy that was asking, what's the big deal? So, you're using a red filter and making some videos of the clouds. And it's not only the clouds, it's just mostly the clouds. And it's not about the clouds, it's about the mineral streets that are dumping out into the system what can identify for you and show you, if you go look, that you can see the true creators work, and you can see the true creators building everything. So I'm showing it to you at the cloud level because it's one of the most powerful impacts. I believe it should be. So that's why it's mostly the clouds. But it could be on any given day rocks, water, skin, fur, animals, internals, externals, whatever, because it's the entire system. Even parts of the system with human influence can also be shown to hold the true creator's work. Everything in here is the true creator's work, is built by the true creator's builders. So that's why it's important for me to do what you make sound so simple. That tells me that you're not looking. When someone writes something like that, it's obvious that you're not really looking at what it is I'm trying to show you. That's why you'll always hear me say in my videos, take your camera out of your pocket, use it as a viewing device to look at your monitor and watch the cloud videos that I'm making for you. I'm making them purposely with contrast so that you can see what it is I'm trying to show you. I have no other way to hold your hand and show you this other than the way that I'm doing it. And I don't know anybody else that could do it any better unless they were lying scum that has actually awakened, and then they go out and show you. But I don't think they would last long. Like the people that I'm calling out, the people that I call out in my series all have thousands, if not millions, of subscribers, viewers, followers, minion, I call them. I don't have that. So, and for the importance of what it is I'm showing you and how easy it is for everyone to see, that's pretty telling. It's pretty telling of how zombified we all are. That we can all just see it for ourselves. You don't need anybody. You don't need the entertainers anymore. You don't need the television. It's all around us. The entertainment, the real, true creators' work. So by adding these red filters, green filters, blue filters, depending on the day, depending on the clouds, what they look like and everything, I've been getting better and better at it as I go along. But my remasters are where I'm showing you how easy it is for you to go see it, so that you can do the same exact thing that I'm doing here. You won't need the filters. You won't need the filters. You might not even need the filters right from the beginning. It depends on the person. I've seen people that have seen, according to them anyways, and I don't have any reason to disbelieve them, that they see it better without the filters, and they see other layers of imagery. And like one girl years ago, she was a lion chill and stuff like that, but I believe that I do believe that she, because with the way she described it, it was the dew coming off the ground in the morning. So all the steam and shit rising up from the ground in an early morning. And when you look through the trees, you can see in the steam, just like you can fire and smoke and everywhere else, you can see the true creator's work. So she claimed that she had been seeing this for years, and she was just afraid to talk about it. She thought everyone would think she's nuts or whatever, and so she never talked about it. Um, and that's possible. It's possible, even if she is a paid shill, even if she was a paid shill, it's still possible that she could have had this, um, enlightened experience or something like that that she was just too afraid to talk out about. Because I believe that's the case with all of us. When we're babies and we're children, if we were left alone to think for ourselves instead of programmed, but our parents start programming us immediately from birth. And our parents are programmed from birth, and we get programmed from birth, and so on and so forth. So it's a constant programming, and they can change the programs as they go along, which is what they're doing now. Again, they're changing some programs up, and it's going to confuse the hell out of everyone. That's why we all have to have talks with our kids and stuff and explain to them that, it doesn't mean you're prejudiced if you don't want to listen to teachers talk about sex and transgenderism and changing your sexual orientation. I mean, these are fucking kids, man. They're not even thinking about that kind of shit yet. And pure peer pressure that gets put on them at that age too. We all know because we were all kids already once, so we all know how confusing it can be made. And they do. They do a great job of confusing the shit out of the children. Kids that would just automatically figure shit out on their own and be better off than be programmed by us. Not just parents, but societies in general. If that's what happens, but we're trying to look out for them. We're trying to do good by them and all that, and make it even worse for them than anything else. So I'm going in back and forth in and out of the house, and every channel still, for days it's been this way now. They're all still talking about this stupid fucking balloon. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, man. I can't. I mean, I know the reasoning even why they're doing this and all that kind of shit. Uh, why did they wait so long to shoot it down? And they make such melodramatic shit out of nothing. But on the other hand, they play down things that are very serious and very important. I mean, it's all backwards, upside down. It's intentional to be that way. And the zombies all go along with it. They all go along with it. They're all. I just seen that guy George Holloway. I was just hearing his video. He had some guy on, and they were saying he was kind of surprised too because his statistics were coming back that his people. He did a survey like he does. He does those little survey things, and overwhelming